natale mi alon ko mba fala ko di special interview mi alon ko mba kerker la ngadi Kexx Sanneh la jama ba ka fay dron Kexx Sanneh mi alon ne fon ko tebe parti min to wolem People Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism doli elon doyla paramu molti mi alon ko sainten ala kanu anin fasa ro aya di min wolem bakari bajeti mi alon ko atelem National People's Party la candidate for KM min keta kani fin ro kamal dron Kexx sainten afon be nyatile ngol LSTV 1 pour kaje ko nga programme mo nyin commencer bar jannim fon be dunna programme mo nyin kono dron be silo nyin dila Kexx la pour kaje ko dron anin jibe lale nyo konton jannim fon be dunna programme mo nyin kono Mr. Sanneh Kexx, you most welcome to LSTV 1 for the very first time.
Baraka bake content bake pour canal la studio do wala canal la platform do ni Gambian wala kacha content bake ni opportunity la bella moy lal anen jiber lal bebe content tol ni content la kan dandal badi male be jam antele nata pour bi si kacha soto men kamunta ko me alon kabe nyato jam ni LSTV
abaraka bake Kexx but ngamra ko the unfortunate part of it wala nyinde ko mbe sirin Sanneh kunnan ko la nyatile mo that's the most unfortunate part of it but wo fati kunnan ko nin Sanneh kunnan ko le be jang bar ngalo nim pareta sulata min wala do mo te mo di lalal ka jibe lal fanan tento bake ke jay wato bele kamenta pour kaje kabula nyim programme ni kono Mr. Sanneh ngam nyin nang signa foloribe apia kan on this program mi alon ko mba fala ko donc the special interview mi alon ko mba dilel bar jannim be dunna kacanyen kono be lafla a little bit of your political career yedo man nim fo moli woto jannim fo be dunna ya kacanyen kono
abaraka bake content bake o nyinen karola ntamo fannin ke walati alon ko ngana karamo ban kawur sine secondary school ka be mbora mete nata alla ban kawur o kamala ka be nga school en be barek ko keda moti me alon ko nga hamo soto pour ka dum banko do ko kono so nata kisi ro ke kajibe nyim patiol nye bela moy kajibe enten men la miro sidano o kamala nata PDOS endorse that was in 2006 kabinge bela mo nada ka party mod mi anon ko bulata to PDOS no since 2006 kabe wato kono be politiko kono antata PDOS la media team o kono and seltal up to the ladder for the last congress mi anon ka keda ina dan an select kanke the secretary to the youth bureau me along wo fana keda to the congress la but after nata wo fana nata party wo fana nata sika yande ko during the process during the election kudol keda jemel kamunta ko adole carte of jemel alon ko they were no delegates o kamale na do o kul janjande men keda tane aminata koriyati hano be continue ka yandande ko tal belief onin tarobe be doyle men kamunta ko People Democratic Organization for Independence and Socialism belief ta ko etel lañen ten ko mamam politiko kono andum keda multi fana mele alon ko ka information o janjande pour banko dingol salon me atina nyanda ka party ol tombo an minane nyanda ka carte o fay so kaben safano 206 be politiko kono loto nyamena west fana député carte fo men tambitano antara non pour ka lo ka kela député otije on the PDOS ticket. Then unfortunately man when I came fourth out of 6 candidates kabe woto alhamdulillah I came out of 5th out of 6 candidates but the margin is very different for the first time in the history of a PDOIS to contest in Yamina West constituency and an amount contest for the history of Toy. So on the belief that I could have made the change. Nuntara je funding kol natela moen nata contest jen hansa ni bulo belare nyoka wala na councilors election momentum bida nga candidate Londe on the ticket la and he came out of second only NPP da Malayadam but all other political parties melalan ko contest GDC or for UDP or ngebe defeat and those people have been in that area for almost decades ebe no nyamena ka contest je. So that shows you that definitely we have made an impact and come next National Assembly election cool si fale no so wala mo tarik en dengo tinga menke politiko
yeah Kexx ni ajibe ni molbe la political affiliation wala ko nibe ka wala political party mai ka ajibe la political party jamal la mol siata bari ta kabri be la kuma kan itande ka atande kan kabri jannim fo be la politiko wala fo ko dum kan o political party ni to min jibe wala nyin defam ye korosiro nyin neke fo mamero wato abe kumal wala ko isaje no le ko wala mune asabo imaje ko mbato ngakafu party ma mi alon ko wala warta wala mo jamal be wota bot ikata modi mi alon ko itata PDOS da mi alon ko modol fon ka fo fon ko mol man sebul banko nyinga
ha yalon wala kada fon mi alon ko wala nyam banko tadandi bake mol buka party support because of our program on our policy soul model be kere mele alon ko wala kabula party no because of the fanfare mi beje wala nyinte ko chocho men ka kuma je dol bije nak wol ka ke multimedia lon ko ka popularity le jibe parti wala mol siara nyame dol fanal bije media lon ko ka police nim programme le jibe sontel bulato mol le kono ka jibe ko hanin kilin ne bitaje bar ngalon ko be men ke kan wala the right thing na concern will guide me o kada fenti wala nan telbe selection o kala na cross role ka ngil be la mole there is no party me alon ko tamam bulo la moyla la rela wala men la moyla rida o mambulo le la manifesto kam before be decision o kala then ka be ngabe je nata jibe ko with the situation gambe be nyamendo ni lebe kala party to mele alon ko dale simbondi non be kole amen ko ka be ngam fan soto independent o kon ona da ka fenti me alon ko nata nyatilen a PDOIS la ka bulande until la political manke about numbers we believe that ko what is important wala nyinte ko min solution lebe kala je mele alon ko be banko bon la kole akon no bari felta wala since independent wala na every year nga president elect nga bebe en complain o lammo kilingol anka ke molti melan ko ka fa ko nyu kaya man fenki jaman do ko because we refuse pour que mol select into office based on the competency men so na daga ka fenti melan ko en tadden di back na na development wala karola wala na bimbe dan so on lafa ko mindset la bay mol ba wala na lafta ka based on program oriented political affiliation not just more supported because of the numbers.
Yeah, Kexx Sanneh jibe not only venturing into politics. Iketa mori fana miyalon ko la diamo ko yatandi ko ka kibar ta kele ka kibar janjan no fanankel. And then most of fonko you ventured into journalism. Nyimiro nyinata mundola pour kaje ko fananke dabula in the field of journalism.
Yeah, baraka bake nyimu fenete me alon ko kabring election of 2016 during the coalition election. I was part of the team that were campaigning for President Barrow as the coalition flag bearer. We toured the entire country, you know, for campaign Obanda Sokababanta. Then we go into building a nation. And I take upon myself, Kajibeko, definitely, this material time. For Banco Dingol Salon, what are their representatives are doing on their behalf. Then you will have an informed citizen. And when you have an informed citizen, then you will have an informed decision. Decision of Kalapuka Banco, Motombo, Obata say Hakilo Uruate, Balona, Concan, Mol Menka Palace, or the Munamula Dokwood, Nada Foko, the battle and responsibility, Purka Barol Janjan, Melalonco, ila representative folka like another attached to the National Assembly, Menkada Deputy Bungoti, Kataji, la program, Menko, Kela Seal, Menkije, Purka along Banco Dingol Kalon, ila representative, even Mina Fokatel to because by it less in the Palace in the Puria Kela Deputy old. So what will be Menfolk and even Menke, Kanyaka Finti public. Ngaje ko National Assembly Biden camera tije menon kaka jesa only few media houses all nita daje bi so mai titaje tenada kaka na obligation of the FD ambe deputy bungo for the last 5 years anka kibaro janja nga kibaro den mol nata do ko nyin appreciate ka anda nena ko definitely they appreciate then mol for nata motivate ka anda nena ko I think it is important for you continue this trend because you are definitely helping us and more especially until menon ko we are in the diaspora we didn't have the opportunity to be in the Gambia you are definitely helping us then call nata then nada continue wala for after the 5 years when you tambila nada jag dibide bon fana feel necessary to have all their cameras and all their gadgets because yajeko how important it was what I was doing was helping them to give them even image ka antandila ko nyimu fennati me alon ko kumata la promote ala benyam because atata fo jaman la fa hane man sakunda fon they rely on video sol ka antandila partner sol ni me alon ko they have a collaboration ka antandila okay we want to enter into this, but have you table it in the parliament? They will go to my Facebook and pick the link to reference it. Even loans will be approved. If they want to secure the loans, they will go there. It's already been approved by the parliament. So they will take me as a reference. And Mamfenyi Nkayo Banco Doko and Dongalon Kumul not along. Dipitola Doko minute and Dipitol Kamina for then Kabimbo, then people appreciate the work. Then let us continue the trend by the National Assembly. So we can go into another areas. Nata Kitty Bungo Fanato Kajibeko, Kitty Bungo Market. Hansa mol bukalong actually menka ke kiti bungo because afana mo fenati me alonka kole abada when you are reporting in terms of kiti bungo kola it need special reporting so sometimes people are definitely appreciating but ntafana na ran kon sinkafu mol me alan ko bije pour mbe simbulo la nyoka ngajibe mol balon na nyame tilimonen tanko abe banko ka nyame so nata sang specialized in that area la nsuka information all pass the model can store it and for me that is very fine because I just want people to get the information newspaper kata even private media sold kata they say it on their wall and I'm definitely appreciative of that femuta wodo ngaje ko bebe banko do ko wala so nyina keda rek fo sign dal almal dol yang consider ko a journalist, but I want people to understand that I'm so passionate about dissemination of information, but not particularly I'm a journalist. This is why I'm not registered under any media house, but I do freelance for media house. They will take my story and tell me, we want to use your byline. I say that's fine, and always that's what I'm doing. But actually, me, I'm a politician. Somebody who contested for a National Assembly election will always be a politician. But we are so passionate about the dissemination of information because nimbanko kibaro soto re ko ka sona so nyina del kada molti yalan ka journalism fana
yes Kexx benata la wolto because mo jamal bi jemi yalon ko ka ke messenger as a journalist baraka mo ko le diamor na tar ko mba fam kan wolo nyinde ko ke messenger is not a full-fledged journalist but a politician but amu molti mi yalon ko he has the passion pour ka safero ka kibaro nyinta ka janjante so wo mol mi yalon fam ko ka mo ko ke messenger mo journalist holte can we say ko saying nyanta sabati na ko ke messenger mo ke journalist
yeah ko pour molia understand you have what we call now we are in a digital world, so I'm a digital phone call. So anybody with a phone can be a journalist. But consider you will not consider me in the category of the journalists that are actually practicing it as a professional. But you can call me a citizen journalist because until area I just want the people to have the information wala more banko moli alo membe kekela banko ka no mbuga jo mutaje mbuga fe mutaje. I'm just doing it because of the passion of Fonkoni. What dol bije wala kela profession and they expect every month they will be paid for it. When they come from some bagas or less nobody buy me baga, I'm not working for any media, so I feel like this is an issue me alonka important and kake. So ni bafole you see me as a citizen journalist not ela can put onto that category. But for me I didn't see myself as a journalist. I see myself as somebody who is so passionate about dissemination of information, and I try to put the information so that the citizens will be informed.
You established an outlet on Facebook, Kexx News, mi alon ko mo jama ka bulano mo bakale ni miro ni nata nyadil and also jama le benyen Kexx News jama le bako.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think this came during the trial of Bob Keita, that I was sharing so many information that almost the entire nation was actually relying on me in terms of what is happening in Bobla case. So Kabuo Keita, we were onto that, and people start to encourage me. Kexx, Facebook do restrict people in terms of number of people. Friend, just normal friend request is only 5,000. So until Dumbe, we are so passionate about the information on men share. Laftala back and do laftaka mo kamala until moti me anon ko lafta non pour esike moti me anon ko esi pejo ele ne pejo ele bajala ko definitely abe mako lentel besi follow no je atna esike no banta bat we abai be new social je and amanda wala fana kabenga court reporting start some of even the lawyers mele alon ko there in the Gambia encourage and demand the way ekela news Kenya man it's so detailed to the extent that it will help some of us in terms of our reference. Amanda wala fana even some of the university students all mele alon ko they are studying law wala fana young applicant and dilako it's very difficult sometimes when they send us in terms of reference to a case, I can call it to track it out. So, but with you bring every word verbatim what happens in the court and the whole market. So we would like, Puru, if you can at least expand this to a page or a website whereby we can go there. So that was the time on a website when you create. And when I create the website, I said, oh, then it's important to create what we call Kexx News. But Kexx News was never even my idea. And the eye of the nation, that was my actual initial Fonkoni. But more not an approach, more full of more because you are already known in terms of this thing. So anything that you will create has to follow your name, Kexx, so that people will know that okay, the one that I was following on Facebook on his personal page is the same thing. So it has to have a link with your personality as Kexx. So it's rather you have it Kexx News. So there were so many suggestions. Even the flyers that I post on social media were designed by Gambians. Different. I was even having a problem to choose whose flyer to choose as my logo of my media. So that shows you how passionate people or how appreciate people were in terms of Ngadoko Manketente. Yes. So that's how the Kexx News came in.
Yes, Kexx.
It was a demand from the Gambian people.
Okay, that's fine. Ngamara ko still now mbe progress mean I think mbe tanyato do man because near Jibe currently we are heading for the mayoral and then chairman election mi alon ka bina Gambia banko nyin and is itebe party economy alon ko wala keta doit na kalamta ko nyin dulal to doy man candidate so to mi alon ka be contest kan in the name of doy but na tara mol ba faham la mune asabu wala na tara ko safu no mole mune asabu doy man candidate so to no in Banjul KM and then also in Brikama.
Yeah, thank you very much. Maybe that question will be well answered by the Central Committee that decide on decision of the party. But what I know, DOI is not a party that is just contesting for its sake, but they contest because they believe that at least they can make a change when it comes to the development of this country. Wale kake DOI la siloti all the time, and we know how polarized our political landscape is at this material time, you know, to the extent that it's either the battle, there's this battle between NPP and UDP in terms of who will lead the affairs of this country, and DOI is trying more into educating the people to understand why they should actually entrust the affairs of this country to them. So these two people are taking a part. So here is a power struggle. These ones are trying to educate the people to understand why do we elect people. So maybe they will answer maybe the target that they are, or they feel like it is still not matured enough right now at this material time to put up a candidate, and this is why they decided not to, or they should. So this is the, but like I said, is the Central Committee that can actually answer that.
Of course, yes, in Banjul, KM and also in Brikama coming for Nyaming, do man candidate in Sotoje. But ikata mote mialonko, you went ahead and endorsed Bakari Baji mialonka tell them National People's Party NPP la candidate for KM, and then ikata kabring ning fundira drong. I think ning ye chocho ni wulindi nim mafangla wala KM mafangla about Kexx Sanneh. But nimbe nyinen karola why Bakari Baji in the first instance? Mune asabu fango ikata mote mialonko fundira nam publicly ka Bakari Baji endorse.
Yeah, thank you very much. Since Mbe Party Omento they didn't put out candidate, and I have been a registered members of PDOIS. I'm part of the party. So in the belief that you know, caring, name candidate KJ until baby KMC Jana, and we are all citizens. And people don't join political party to surrender what we call your citizens' right. And it is enshrined that everybody have what we call a right of a political affiliation or political association. So in the belief that I'm a resident of KMC who is a taxpayer in KMC. So if my party didn't put up a candidate, then I have to choose the existing political parties or the existing candidates or the candidate that will contest to choose best out of the rest. And when I sit down now, evaluate, I look at Talib Bensouda. I said, okay, Talib has been given 5 years mandate to run the affairs of this country, the council. But if you look at compared to what the council can do, and people who understand in terms of the responsibility of the council, the council responsibility momenti, and you compare what has been developed so far in the past 5 years, for me, I am not convinced that Talib was the right person, because for me, if I entrust you 5 good years, you cannot do anything, because Gambians, you know, people think that, okay, politics is just a plain ground. But for me, politics is determine our life, how we live, how we eat. You know, whatever we do is determined by a politician. So this is not a matter of playing or try and error. It means that when you are into office, because before you assume that office, you understand that these were the challenges of the country. And these were the challenges of the council. So you were expected to actually deliver to the expectation of the Gambian people. So coming out the GB, I see to read that actually this is not the person that I will, because I didn't see the development that he should have bring. And I went through the audit report and I see the queries and I see the mismanagement of public funds in terms of the audit report. I said, no, come on, my consent will not accept me, because for me, I see Gambia is what I want. And I wish, you know, we have a candidate that I believe that is not the competent person. You will see I would have gone against the person, because for me I believe that Gambia is, I'm a citizen before being any other political party, so, and that citizenship must be maintained, and for that I have to choose right people to run the affairs of my country. So I was never convinced about Talib, and I decided, okay, let me look at Pamodumbo and Bakari. Then I look at Pamodumbo, I said, okay, Noto Alliance is just an independent party, independent coalition that doesn't belong to any political party, and the affairs of the council is a huge responsibility. So I don't think I will actually entrust my vote to an independent candidate to run the affairs of that doesn't come from a political party. And I just see a few group of people that I see, these are the few people that owns this entity, and for me I think council is too big for that. I said, okay, this one. Then I look at Bakar. I said Bakar came to the Ministry of Youth and Sport not just recently ago, not less than 3 months, but if you evaluate what he have achieved so far, far, you could say that, okay, this man could be a better choice for me. You look at the National Youth Council, how it is now transformed. You look at the NYSS, you look at the development of sport in this country for the first time in the history of the Gambia, going to African Cup of Nations, World Cup, and all these things, you know. So it shows you that, and the person you could look at by then, our players will be stranded at the airport. But the last time when they have an issue, there was a special jet that went and picked them up. You look at the youth empowerment project that the Ministry of Youth and Sport is actually championing. I said, okay, I think this man is the best candidate that I can actually associate myself for the development of the council. And this is what made me to decide to vote for, to support Bakari.
Kabring akeme se natara ko ngila kuma kan woni fahama kamunda ko kabri Bakari ni Talib la Bakari le choose over Talib. Bari ya feel ko Bakari le se KMC wala Kanefi Municipal Council atele si je development wala ko asa sambanyaro. Kabri bel assessment kala ye damin jibe ngamara ko wolem ala Talib mam milkeno. But also for jibe roke erel mi alon ko fanan ay success aten wolta wala ko ay nyato taso to wolta. Kabring tumala mena be Kanefi Municipal Council as chairman.
Yeah, definitely. I look at the success, and with all doubt, we must give him credit. You know, we will not say that he you know, out of 100 he's 0%. No, we will not do that. Will be very unfair comment. Yeah, but for me, you know, why I know that he have done so many development in terms of, you know, the revenue collection in this country. Before, you know, there were so many leakage in terms of how the revenue is collected. But if you collect the revenue, you are expected to plow it back to the community. That's the very people that for how was that done? Was it done in a transparent manner? Was it done as it is expected? Where is the development? You collected the tax. Where is the development? I'm in Latikunda here. When you are coming, you pass all the manholes there. None of them are covered, and all these things are dangerous, exposed to young people that are in the street. And this is a responsibility of the council. Where is the council's flats? You know, those who are in the diaspora are telling people that you have to vote for parliament. Ask them what council is doing for them. So it is very unfair and very, you know, disheartening seeing people that are enjoying councils, you know, in the various places in the diaspora are telling the Gambians that look at what our council is doing. They are not doing absolutely nothing. There is no council flat that you consider. But these are responsibility of the council, where you will build what we call local houses, small houses that you can know. Low earners will go and occupy this house, and they will be paying the council on monthly basis until they own the compound. Where is the council flat? When people close from work here, they struggle to have a vehicle. Where is the council transport? That should be done. Those are responsible. You go to the Euro, ask them. It is there. But our council lack all these things. You look, even the people that are in the community, there should be a council, a medical team that will be going and surveying people and look at their health condition. This is what is happening in the Europe. But they will not tell you that, and our councils are not doing this. We have to, you know, compare ourselves to the world standard. The world is evolving. So all these things are not happening in terms of how contracts are awarded according to the national audit report. You know, it's not transparent. They went to other places whereby there was no contractual agreement between the two parties to produce it, that, okay, we give contract to these people. So who, you know, all these things are issues. You go to the Balit project, there are missing receipts. So all these things, I look at it, I say there is no transparency in terms of how awarding contract. You look at that family business has been taking place and so many things. Yeah, so for me, my consent will not allow me to vote.
Kexx, we will come to that, because namra kombina nga killing because there are a lot of allegations against Talib. But niya jibe mo jamal argument be dam wala nyinte ko kemese mo multi mialo no kala own news outlet the sort of science he is practicing the field of journalism wala fam ka kibarol ta ka safe, and also molke illa moyala iko nyim manke the very best of time de pour ka je ko kemese na publicly ka mo endorse iko nyanta min kala non fam wala nyinde ko nyanta wo mabola yeke moti mialo nako hanna tar ko be support di lay magna kana publicly bari mo jamal ke illa moy ila kibarol auto kamala yaje ko tebe kala moti mialo nako ibe lala karkilo ka hanna tar fam ko be kibarol nyindi.
Yeah, Yalong, what Gambians have to understand that, you know, what there are two rights. There are rights that we call them bad rights. They are your bad rights. Even the courts hasn't power to deprive you from those rights. There's no individual in this country that can deprive you from those rights, and those are called bad rights. Those things, you inherit them since you are born. And my right as a citizenship cannot be compromised because I am giving news to any a media house. And I see so many people, and they restrict journalism, or journalists telling them that, okay, you are a journalist, you should not portray. You have a right to a political association. That's an enshrined in the Constitution. But nobody can tell you a law that says that a journalist should not be politically affiliated. There's no law, and the country is governed by law. Country is not governed by an opinion. It is law that guides us. But they will tell you are a journalist, you should not portray yourself into a political affiliation, but they cannot state you a law. But the law has provided that every citizen of this country has a right to a political association. So that's my right. So since the law has provided me that, if I do that, what is there, unless you state me a law that says that, then I will say that, okay, I'm violating the laws of this country. But the law has permitted me. So those things are opinion, and opinion, you just respect them. You don't debate with opinion. You just respect opinion. So I will respect them that that's their opinion, but that doesn't mean that I should not, because there's no law that stated that. So for me, you know, that's why I don't go to Kexx News when I'm doing issues of politics. I know this is my personal page. I have separated that totally. Kexx News is meant for national issues. Kexx News is meant to inform the public about the issues. But when it comes to politics, I am a politician. I use my personal page. This is Kexx News is mainly to give information to the Gambian people, and it will be accurate as it is. You know, for people to understand this is what is happening there, and it's left for people to decide or not. And I have not created Kexx News, you know, to have, you know, for me, it's left to the people. If you feel like I'm giving an information that you want, you can go there and follow me. If you feel like that, then I'm very useless, I cannot give you, then it's not a force. For me, I'm not looking any monetary gain there. I'm not doing anything. I just do it passion for dissemination of information. I want my country to be an informed country whereby people make an informed decision. And this is why I choose to create that newspaper. But that doesn't stop me. That doesn't deprive me from my constitutional right to exercise my political right.
Your accusations on Talib, kabring ika tumirol mi alon fanko ike like ika saferol mi about Talib. Namana ko kodol mi alon ko wolle fundita on top of the list, wolle the salary increment mi alon ko ya claim ko wolle keta KMC. And also Serekunda market, and also the bottle crosser machine mi alon ko ya itande fanko Talib na la molle wosanga nin ku kotengol nin ku kotengol moje mal kabriya nyim fo doli ya fo fanko ite fango malo kamin safi walla you don't even know cool nyim betama kanyani, but you just went ahead pour ka accusation on nyinke against Talib na tara ko nyim kuma kan nyim moy what is going to be your reaction?
Yeah, thank you very much. Along ya kube la nyamera ni mo malafika memoy reka buko moy, and this is not the first time that they will produce a national document and people will look at it, it doesn't favor them, and they will take side. I think when the issue of the diplomatic passport came here, I was the first Gambian who produced the list of Gambians who all obtain our diplomatic passports. Some are not even part of the government. They are not under the civil servant. They are individual family issues, and they were issued a passport. When the issue of about that $666 million issue came here in regards to what was actually deposited at the State House, I was the first person who produced the list, how many people were paid from that thing. And people appreciate, but some say that, no, this is fake, I am, you know, I have a grudge against one political party. But these are national document. I don't produce national document. I get them because I'm so passionate about dissemination of information. So I do my research and get documents. And the same thing like what I wrote the last time is the same that is from the audit office. And I can show you the good document before you will leave here to show you that these are documents that are produced from the National Audit Office. So whoever disagree with me, you are telling that National Audit Office is the one who is not telling the truth to the public. And actually what is in the National, that's what I said, and it's already confirmed by Talib yesterday. That's why when I see people actually caricaturing me, I just laugh, because Talib automatically confirmed what I said, that his salary was increased to $600 and something thousand. And that was actually my argument, that is more than $500,000 that was actually been increased to his salary. And in terms of sitting allowance, in terms of pension, gratitude, and all these things, I have mentioned this there. And Talib went to Kerfadu, you know, he confirmed this, that it was increased. And the argument is about the increasement of the salary. And Talib didn't say that his salary was not increased. He said that his salary was increased. The only funniest thing that all the media houses are carrying, that Parliament approved Council's budget, that is very false and it's fallacious. It shows that, you know, media houses are not actually doing their research to find out that Council is an autonomy body that is not under the Parliament to approve their budget. And I even see Talib himself carrying out, he said that it was approved by the Parliament. It was never approved by the Parliament. Let them produce where the Council went to the Parliament and table a bill for their salary to be increased. That's how Parliament approved budgets. But I see them on TV saying that it was approved. It was never. Council decide on their own salary increasement. So all what I did was from the audit report, and I, you know, if there's anything that is misinformation, then it's the auditors that are misinforming the public. But as far as that is a national document and it was given, and I see the opinions of the councils there in the audit report. Council were responding to the queries that the auditors were raising. So how can you say that that is a fake document? When councils are responding, I will show you the response of the council and I will read it to you. You hear the mayor responding to the audit query that, okay, we will solve this issue. It was an oversight, or sometimes he will respond to this. So how can you come here and sit on the public because it doesn't favor you? And you say that actually this is, Kexx is not misinforming the public. That is the last thing that I will do. Yes, I make an error, and every human being is an error. When I went to Bakau, instead of saying that $6 million, $6,000, I said $6 million. And I was the very one. How that shows you how honest I am. Immediately, less than 15 minutes, one of my friends called me. He said, Kexx, I think you made an error. You know, and that's verbally. Every human being is not perfect. I was announcing, and instead of saying million, I said $1,000. You know, so but immediately I realized that I make a post to show the Gambian people that actually it was brought to my attention that, you know, I said million instead of 1,000. And I make that post. That shows you how honest I am. But I see media houses going there, they say they are, you know, they are trying to verify, but they could not bring that part to say that, but he was actually the one who even rectified us. All of them will not have even know that I have made such things. But because of my clarification, that's why they understand that, and they were carrying away that. But for me, you know, my conscience guides me. When my conscience is clear, absolutely there is nothing that can deter me from what I want. You know, ask people whom I went to Amity school with, you know, you will see, you know, I stood at Amity to say that there are certain punishments that are happening in the school has to stop. And I stood on my ground. For the first time in the history of a senior is suspended because of a junior. For me, you know, when I'm right, I fear nothing. And people have to understand that I'm an activist because I believe that, you know, it's not a defiance of authority, but it's defiance of injustice. And this is why I stand. And any injustice, any corruption, I will definitely stand against it. So for me, this has been my passion. So they can write whatever they write. You see me, you find in my house, very happy, I'm comfortable. I'm not even moved because my consent is already clear that what I want and what I'm saying is the facts. So the rest are not important.
Yes, Kexx, at this Bakau rally, ni rally mi alam ko ye ni revelation ke wolto wodin kira ni to komi ya fo nyami ko ero ni soro la kabring to malami nebe figos ni di kan kabri woketa mol mi alam fan wollem ila critics de mol mi alam fan ko wolle be katara bularin Kexx no ya itandi fan ko kemese mo molde mi alam ko he doesn't know what he is doing bari kabring wo fota dorong mol nata ya je ko na kuma kan is been amplified bari mbe min fo kan ko nyin malo ngabe min fo ko wolle fundira je maja lafta kam walla fan ko min nyanda fola mo walla fan amalum fan min yalon ko wolle nyanda fola anu nyin kata fende mi alam ko komi ya fo nyami news outlet dol ya kare ko kemese min fo Bakaw wo man soto so kabri woketa kamunda ko defon you aren't happy with that but news outlet akamunda ko minketa ye wala safa wala nyinde ko kemese min fo wala man soto.
No, actually, actually, I first made the clarification because this was in the night around 12 o'clock. It was the following day that other media houses speak it because, you know, it was this UDP guys that went to my post and they realized that, so they start to scream. So that's how it came there after I said it.
So were they wrong to say Kexx mean for Bakaw man correct? Isn't accurate?
No, there's absolutely not that I say that is not correct. It's just that I have a pronoun. Instead of saying $1,000, I said million, and that was only one person. That's only one column, that's the salary of the mayor. But apart from that, all what I listed were perfect. So I don't know what is there. So that's human being. We are nobody is perfect. And I came honestly enough to say that, okay, you know, before even nobody will notice it, I was the first person who came and owned up my mistake. Because I believe that I'm not perfect. And when you make an error, you have to be honest to yourself to come and rectify yourself. And I have did that. I come to the public. I say that, okay, instead of saying 1,000, I said million. But the error is from my side, and I apologize for any inconvenience. That's honesty. How many people will do that? Most of people were defending other issues here. When it turns out another way, they still maintain their position even though it's wrong. I am not that type of person. I'm very honest, and this is why I say that I made an error. I'm the one who rectified myself. It's not the media. After that was the time the media houses posted. But they were there, you know, I see media houses, you know, carrying away with some of the claim. I see it after they were trying to rectify me, but they are also misinforming the people that it was Parliament that approved, you know, council's budget. That is false. Let them provide the law. Let them tell us where they were when the council went to the Parliament to require. The Parliament only approved for civil servants, and it was across board that they said that they need salary increasement. And the minister came before the Parliament and requested for the Parliament, and that's the civil servant. That's where it stops. Council is an autonomous body. different from the central government. You have two governments in a state. You have the central government and you have the local government. The local government is independent in terms of what they will do, in terms of approving their own budget. So it is false for a media house, a big media house, carrying that story that shows that they don't know what the law states, they don't do research. Sometimes that's why when people accuse them of PR service, we want to believe that. Because if a media house can come and just carry, because of some militants who are just saying that it's parliament that approve, and you just go and carry that and make it a news, it's a disgrace to that media house. So for me, actually, I made an error and I rectified that. But it's the facts is only one person. But they are not talking that they just carry about that. Was the salary not increased? That's the argument. Was the other ones not increased? That's the argument. And this is the man who came before us that, you know, me, I'm from a rich family. I didn't come here to enrich myself. So if it was me and I came here for the debate, when you want to increase my salary, since he said that his fuel coupon, he cut it down because he don't want that he can provide himself, why not you cut your salary? You said that, no, me, I'm okay with the $35,000 that they are paying me every month. Why going for $45,000, that for $44,000? When that $44,000 is the amount that is increased there could solve somebody's problem, could solve some issues in the council. Then you are not telling us what your words, you are not adhering to your word. So for me, my argument is about the increase. Was it not done? It is done. So that's where the whole issue stops.
Yes, ngamra kombe cool falena domani in the sense model fanambela model mi alonko they are these local people mi alonko imantu bab kanyo faham abe kumala bake purunga manika kango dundije bake domani purka je fananko wolse benefit wala fanko se ifananse imuna fang program onyena. But Kexx to many mojamal bije mi alonko ko kemesen sana mu multi mi alonko ay bakari bajila endorse. And then bakari mu multi mi alonne fanko abulo mansenea. Iko bakari mu multi mi alonne ka dunta saga jamal la kono. But yet again atobe kuyari wobi la nyawnya kemesen nata ke multi mi alonne ko aya endorse over somebody mi alonne ko is doing an exceptional job min kata taliben suda.
Yeah, it's gonna be the same thing, opinion. But Talib, I think Bakar has answered that question very clear. And even before Bakar answered that, you know, I'm so passionate about information and dissemination of information. And when this issue came, I confronted Bakar, you know, and I have made a public post before even getting the facts. And people have seen that. When it happened first, I condemned Bakar. Because by then I don't have the facts. Go to my wall, you will see there. I condemn Bakar. That, you know, the wife of ministers and other things are private matters. Let them not bring it into our issues of the nation.
That is the padium issue.
Yeah, the padium. I made it very clear. But when I get the facts that this is not what Bakari, it's not Bakar has an individual who went and paid himself. These are procedures that have been there. Even before Bakari assumed office, that when ministers are traveling for an Olympic Games, they are given this privilege provided by the Olympic Council, that you can be accompanied by what we call a special guest, and it's left to you to choose who will accompany you. And Bakar has chosen his wife to accompany him. So where is it? You know, when people are talking about the issue of the nation, we have to look at legality and illegality. Is it illegal? That should be the first question. It's not illegal because it's already an existing procedures that has been accorded to other ministers before Bakari. So why Bakari is special? So when I had that fact, Bakari told me that this is not me, and he showed me even letters of when these people wrote to him, indicating to him that this is what is the privilege that is here for you. Since you are going for these Olympic Games, you can invite somebody to be your special guest. And Bakari made it very clear that he asked whether this is, they said, yes, this is acceptable because it's a procedure that we found here. So for me, since illegality is direct, I have no problem with that. Morally, we can question it, whether morally it is correct, but countries are not governed by moral. It's law that governs this country. Since the law provided that, then the rest are opinions. And when Bakari came and he realized that his wife could not make it to that Olympic, he said, then there is no essence for me to pay my wife a per diem. He went and returned that per diem. And it was Daba Malik's wedding ceremony that I was sitting with the wife. And we have the discussion. He said that, I told him that, you see my post, you know, for me, so he said that, you know, I saw your post, but, you know, I can show you that that money has been returned. And he opened her phone and showed me the receipt. And I told him that this receipt has to be posted on social media for people to understand. He said, Kexx, I'm not here to, you know, show the people that, you know, or trying to win a score there.
Who said that?
That was Bakar's wife, yes.
Okay.
He said this money was deposited. And even when I went to the Olympic Council to return this money, they actually said that no. Even they insisted I make sure that I pay to their account. And I saw the receipt to confirm that. But for me, that's not important to bring it even to the social media. Because people, when their concern is clear, the rest are not important. And I think that that's my principle. So if how to, that's her principle, that she need not to prove to anybody that she have returned the money and she is fine, then for me, I'm okay with that. Okay, so but there's illegality, that's what I'm telling you, for me, that's nothing. You know, since it's legal, there's absolutely nothing. It's a procedure that Bakar made there. If Bakar was not the minister, that person who comes will enjoy the same privilege. There are privileges that are given to the diplomatic passport. We see ministers here. The parties that are criticizing Bakar, family members were given diplomatic passport. They never condemn that. Ministers are giving their wives, their mothers diplomatic passport. And those ministers are from their political parties. Why don't they say they are not employees of the state and they should not have such privilege? What is Bakar's matter is so special? I mean, actually, it is the same procedure, the same privilege. But for me, I'm not justifying that. It is wrong, and since that he returned the money and legality is there, for me, I'm okay.
Kexx, for mamira nung Bakar la muso nying anyante alawla nung purka je ko document ya publish online because mo jama bije mi alon ko bije asake no wolma kalam da foko do nyi se da fama se anu han sainting aman sene ya foko do nyi se da fama se bari aman na to the public domain. For mamira ko anyante alawla nung den purka je ko publish online.
Yeah, actually, that's true. You know, but for me, I believe that my consent is always what's guiding me. So maybe her consent guides her that there is no need to prove anything to anybody. For him, it's between her and the Olympic Council and his husband. And since his consent is, her consent is clear, you know, there is no need to prove anything. And for me, I always respect people's decision. I don't want to impose my decision on people. When I told her, she said no. That was the time I stopped. And there are people that have witnessed that at the Davos wedding ceremony. There are people who were there, and all of them were saying, no, we have to publish this, you know. And she insisted on the ground, and nobody actually forced her. So for me, I should not force it. This is her personal. It's affecting her, not me. So if you say that she's comfortable not to post it, I don't think I should actually impose
so
that.
is Kexx convinced that that money has been returned?
That's what the document that I see, that it has been returned. So whether, you know, actually, then one can go to the National Olympic. You know, this is a national institution, and we have passed a law in this country that says that access to information, so that every media house have the right to go and obtain any information from any public office. So why people are not digging into all these things and go and find out and ask the National Olympic, why do you pay Bakari? Because Bakari didn't go to your account and remove the money there. Why do you pay him? What was this a procedure? You could have find out all this. Then you will have the facts. That's the role of the media. What, you know, here people just, you know, carry on stories that they hear online and other things. And, you know, politicians and journalists should be totally different. Politicians are there to score political points. You have journalists that have to inform the citizens on the factual reporting, factual issues. So it has to be different. But, you know, in terms of researching to find out the issues that are affecting our country is definitely lacking. But I think this could have been cleared if we have done the job that is expected of us to go and engage these people and find out. And, you know, this has been rumors. You know, there are other parts that have been said. That I even saw a post last time. They said somebody posted, it was not me, that she have returned the money, and people are saying that it has never, even if you do that, they went and backdate all those things. All these things could have been confirmed by the media. So already the information is on the social media. So why not you go and confirm it? So for me, that's the whole issue. But I will not force Awa to do what her consent didn't guide her.
Kexx, you are currently a hero online for the people of National People's Party and in Bakar Bajila Molo, because most of the times ke message post ke mol mi alon fanko wolle ka bula National People's Party and in Bakar no mo ikake mollete mi alon ko ikafoko yes, Kexx is doing an exceptional job walla fonko be kumolle nate kam mi alon ko abe ku kende balle nate kam bari mo jama ya question from wollom party te mi alon fanko National People's Party wolle kata molte mi alon ko a lot of monetary embezzlement in this country. And then wo kata fende mi alon ko jama ya fofon ka banko dingol niyo ko yakan na fo keme se me pare la pour kaje fonko ni nyin carte fa nyin tambida pour kaje that monetary embezzlement wala fonko the embezzlement of public funds pour kaje fonko to dig deep into those pour kaje banko dingol yakala just as you are doing for Talib.
Yeah, actually, first of all, it has to be very clear that I didn't endorse NPP as a political party. I am endorsing Bakari Baji as a candidate for KMC. And this is very clear to people. And immediately Bakari is elected to office, that will be the last day I will just write a very strong piece to Bakari to tell him that we have entrusted you with the affairs of this country for the next 5 years. And if you fail to deliver, like I did to Talib and any other candidate that failed to deliver, it's the same thing that I will do to you. For me, that's my position. I see this country more than an individual and everything. And that's the end of me. I will allow him and I will be there to observe him. And I'll be monitoring him on his activities. How do he award contract? How do he collect tax? Where are the taxpayers? And I'll expose him in the next 5 years to come if he didn't do what is expected of him. That's what we should do. So for me, it's not about NPP. And in regards to the NPP, what is happening in this country, I go to Parliament. You go to my wall. It's there. You know, I have been exposing this government in terms of, you know, issues that they are doing, and it's wrong. I have been doing that not once, not twice. NPP has never been my cup of tea. People know that I was just from the presidential election here. I was campaigning for PDOIs. I went to National Assembly election. I was on the PDOI's platform telling them that why they should not entrust NPP with the responsibility of the country. So already my track record is already there for the public to see that Kexx is the person who will criticize where it is necessary, and he will point fingers where it is, and he will praise where it's necessary. So nobody can say that I'm taking side.
Kexx move is all about his grudge against the UDP and Talib Ahmed Bensouda.
What grudge do I have? I supported Pa Musa here, who is the UDP candidate in Latrikunda, German here. Pa Musa, I supported him. I talked to ask Latrikunda. I go to house. That's why people are surprised when they see me the other round. I said that I believe that Pa Musa is a competent candidate who can actually win this seat. And I support Pa Musa based on those things. And Pa Musa was and so many UDP candidates, even in terms of when I even this chairmanship, there are some UDP candidates that I want them to win the seat because I feel that they have done tremendously and they deserve to be there. I campaigned for so many UDP candidates here on several occasions. So ask Pa Musa. He called me and we sit down. He said, Kexx, I need your support. I said, Pams, even if you don't come here, I will support you. And Pa Musa is hearing me. I said, Pa Musa, even if you don't come here, because for me, I have observed. And I can say that at least during your tenure, you have done something for Latrikunda Ward. So I will definitely have your support. You need not need to. And ask people who I talk to, how many people do I convince? You will see that. So for automatically, I use my own resources to make sure that I motivate them and talk to them to vote for. So for me, when it comes to the issues of nation, I'm not so blind by political affiliation and other things. I have no grudge against UDP. They want betterment for this country. I want betterment for this country. My party wants. But the approach and the manner we want it, or the way we are approaching is what is different. And that's what I am against. For me, I have no personal grudge against Talib Bensouda. When I meet him in the street, I will greet him. It's left to him to accept it or not. And even not when he was doing that, I was criticizing. But when he went to court to sue the government to court, I published. I was the first person who published the amount of revenue generated by the council. Go to my wall on Kexx, you'll see there. And all these UDP who are were praising me that Talib has done so far the highest revenue collected in KMC. I was the one who published it. First person to publish it. So if I have grudge, I would have covered all those things. So I have no personal grudge. And I had Talib saying that was so unfortunate from a political leader, saying that, I'm holding him accountable based on his, he said that I have personal grudge. I was first disappointed, but all those things will be responded at the right time. For me, I just allow them to, because I have a focus, and the focus is that I think that Bakari is the best candidate, and this is why I'm supporting Bakari. So the rest, I don't want to be distracted.
During your support for Bakari, kabring to malaminela fasa roy tandi Bakari la nyinka fenede mi alonko online nita da signing keme sen keta moti mi alon ko mol ka funde ka kumol fama wala fon ka kuol dol fama tar up to an extent nga kibaro do mi alon ko an NPP outlet le akare ya tandi fon ko at some point yo mom min keta fon bamati is not very much comfortable kuol beta ka nyami akamunta ko like I see lo le nyin how realistic is this for up to an extent Kexx ya feel la ko atela live ni man sikio wala fon ka bama ya feel ko keme sen kuol beta ka nyami ngamra ko nyanta ka jam faninal.
Yeah, abaraka back ko yalo nyame actually because I don't listen to WhatsApp audios. It's only my personal friends, but when it comes to group, ask people who are in the group. I don't have time for group because I'm so busy on the work that I'm doing. So I don't listen to groups. So but I get this information from one of my stepdad who is in Germany. Called me and said that Kexx mero dal ngala audio la moy forum mol kono and malum fo audio nyen kanata mal ban for something like that kay audio kay non kay na man taf audio ko forum kon gay ko I don't know how actually I was soto nyame I okay nyame so then nada nga fa confront ko muso na dingolo rek ye dingo kanu rek ya ja tobe social media banen because audio li telka duñu audio la moy lañu groupe audio ya moy dol ba banen dol be kumol fola so you feel concerned ko dingo yalla kam fo mol ba nen na mol be kumol fola so she went out well, I was not actually happy with that. And Kabina Dankai hadn't made that you consulted me, you will not have done that. I am used to this. This is not my first encounter with UDP. Immediately after the coalition election, we went to the parliamentary election. I have a serious issue with them because we disagree on things and we fought, and I am never moved. From there again, we come to the presidential, the council's election, the same thing. We moved there 2021 presidential election, the same thing. So I'm used to all these things. They are dispersonal because for me, I hold them accountable of their failures, you know, and even when in the 3 years journey, I hold them accountable for all those things. So they were never, but they have done anything. Kexx is the same Kexx who is here, you know, and I'll continue to be here. You know, nobody pay my bills, nobody actually pay my data card. The way you have access to internet is the same. The way you can write is the same way I can write. The way you can speak is the same way I can speak. So how will I subject myself to be controlled by a fellow human being? So I'm not that type of person. So I told him that you should not have bothered. But it's a mother who is concerned, like you hear, everybody, mother will react when you hear your son, name is everywhere, people are insulting, caricaturing, you know, or so many deforming him. You will be worried. So out of the love for mother and her son, she came out to appeal to the general public. But for me, I was not actually pleased. But, you know, like I said, I respect people's opinion.
Yeah, Kexx, you are living with your mom. Any bama besirne wala ko kachale. Foi ma miracle kabra concern ni race. Foi ma miracle nyanta ke lamule.
No, she didn't raise a concern to me.
Okay.
She just said that, you know, because of this issue, because I have right to a political association. My mom is a teacher. My mom is educated. Me and my mom, we didn't even have the same political ideology. You know, I support Doi. My mom has never supported Doi. But I respected her. And we stay in the same house. My father doesn't support Doi, and I support Doi. But I have never, my younger brothers who are paying their school fees and they are going to school, they are in other political affiliates. They will wear their t-shirt in the house. Because for me, I believe that every citizen's right to a political association should be respected. Since it is a bad right, nobody should question that. So for me, I respected everything. My mom will never question my political affiliation because she is just that she is concerned about the insult. I have been here portraying people who come in. It's not the only media. My mom knows that she's educated. She reads, she go to Facebook and look and see things. So my mom understands issues. So my mom will not definitely question my political, and she have never questioned that. She's just concerned about the insult, you know, that people are putting onto me. But she never told me that stop what you are doing, and she knows that this is my right, and she will never question that. So there is not an issue of my mother calling me, and I refuse to actually adhere to.
Ila safety nyimbenyale to yourself. It from how safe are you?
Definitely so. Just yesterday, I think I was in the town up to around 2 a.m. You know, in the streets, you know, doing my things. For me, I have no fear factor. You know, people don't know me. I'm fearless. Me, my concern when it's clear, I'm not feared, and this is why I do things. People see it. You know, so many people would have run away. All this caricature, they would have closed their account. I've seen people who were caricatured at the end of close. I'm not the type of person. My concern is always that guides me. And when my concern is clear, I fear less. When I'm walking, I don't even look back. Because for me, I know that I have not done anything wrong that should make me to be afraid of any human being in this planet. There's nobody that, if you hit me, if I hit you, how it will pain you is the same way how it will pain me. So for me, absolutely, there is nothing there that I will be feared of. So there is nothing like my safety. My safety is intact. Like an ordinary citizen in this country, I run my errands every day. I barely, if you guys didn't come by this time, I'm on the street. I'm always in everywhere. I'm moving from one place to another, and I'm not scared of anything because my concern is what is guiding me.
To your critics, Kexx is just a noise maker. By the amanta carte from file KM, he's just making noise. At the formula, Nataro KM, Amanda Faster, by Amanta carte file. So Natara Coabije Purka from Kadiamul. That wouldn't change anything.
Okay, that's their opinion, but I think people who say that, I made it very clear to them that I have a voter's card on the KMC. You know, that's why Pamusa come here and I voted for him. And they would see that during the presidential election, I stood at Latukunda German here at the mosque. And I voted and I took a picture of my vote to say that I have voted for Halifa Sallah. You know, so they are just saying whatever they want to say, but I'm a registered voter of KMC and I'm going to cast my vote for Bakari Baji.
Kexx, akamunda komi alonko nsafoko, that is the latest video you mean say about Talib, because na kalamta kono Talib taranu black market le dami alon no kay lahi di ko be ku jamal fal na je natara fonko yari elect nata je iketa moti mi alonko biye video fundini ko wo molo mi alonko wala black market imang kontani Talib la ko, and then this seems to be in contrast mi alon fonko Talib yolo, because Talib kay parendol be so pour ka je fonko ka wod bla nyum fale video ni nata nyade.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was June 1st or July 1st. I cannot actually remember the two, but it's 2019 when Talib was in office that I received a call here because people know me even before I created Kexx News. They're so concerned about dissemination of information. And when they started their protest, they planned for their protest. They called me, Kantaninako. I went and I see them. They said that their shops are not secure in this country, within the municipality. And more especially carniving, and they are paying tax, they are paying all their dues, and they expect that the council police should protect their properties in the councils. And all along they will collect money from them. They went up to an extent that even the toilet that they are using, they turn it into a shop, just so that they will not have and they didn't have a place where they will use the toilet and other things. So they were so frustrated, and they organized themselves as youth they have an association called the Black Market Youth Association or something like that, registered. And I think Mr. Mbai, one guy, a tall guy in complexion, I forget his name, is their president, and I have their PRO, who actually organized, and they went and protest against the council that they are not protected in the councils, their properties are not protected, they don't have value for their money, and they are dissatisfied with the whole management of the council when it comes to the black market and their property, and they protested. So they went up to the council, and they have a meeting with Talib and promised them that. But I see that the same Talib going to the KM is going to the same black market and telling them that, he visited the people on the black market and he have seen their pride, but when we win, he have seen their condition and the situation there and the challenges. When he wins, he's going to support them. And that's then put a big question to me, that is what Talib is said. Did Talib forget that these are the people 4 years back, 2019, who marched up to his office showing him his concern? There are challenges in the market. And today he's telling us that for the first time after 5 years, this is the first time he's visiting the black market to see the young people. So, these are the things that you hold politicians accountable. This is what they... So I tell them, okay, you said this. Okay, I have a video that I shoot, live streaming. It's not manufactured. And it's here. You went to the black market march up to your house, the young people, that you are claiming that you care so much about them today because it's an election season, saying that you want to help those people. But those people went to your office and they cry for your help as a council that they are paying their tax. But after 4 years now, you are telling them that you have now a plan for them when you are re-elected. For me, that is the highest level of misrepresentation. So this is why I bring that video to tell them that this is contrary to what you are telling the people. So politics should not be deception. It has to be based on the facts. And with the facts, these people, you already know their problems. And after 5 years, you could not do anything. That's why I bring that video, to hold him accountable.
You have a massive support for Bakari. Kamunda ko ila kanu anim fasaro ya mumie sikale yadi Bakari Bajila. Ito yamira Bakari se mum falindir le keno nanata as chairman. As mayor for Kanifi Municipal Council. Yeah,
I believe that he will be the better candidate, a better candidate or Mealonko, more than all this that are contesting, and I'm voting for him. And when Nama Kanyama, I will be the first person to denounce Bakar. And the day he's elected to office and he take an oath, that will be the day I will write a big letter to Bakar Kai and Tandalako. You are elected to serve the people of council and the KMC. And if you fail in your responsibility, we will hold you accountable. You are here to deliver and we expect you to deliver. I will be there and we will monitor every his activities. But for now, I can't say since he's not into office, but I expect him to deliver. That's why we are removing Talib Bensouda and putting Bakar Baji there. We expect, because if Talib has delivered, we will not have removed him there. But for us who are supporting him, we believe that Talib has not delivered, and that's why he has to be uprooted and put another person there to run the affairs of the council for another 4 years, and we will then hold him accountable, since there is already a judgment that is passed at the Supreme Court that now councils will last for 4 years instead of 5 years. And now they have absolute independence, because they are telling us that they don't need any permission from the minister when they are running their affairs, since the council has taken that to the matter and the Supreme Court has made a judgment. So you will see the independence. So there is absolutely no way that Bakar cannot deliver. So if you don't deliver, we'll hold him accountable. That's my role here as a citizen of this country. I am not interested in their political party. Before the political party, I was a citizen, and I will maintain to be a citizen even when the political parties go. So I must put the national interest before, and this is why I'm supporting Bakar. And if he fails, I will be the first person to hold him accountable.
Yes, ni Bakari la fenko njibe komi nga fo nyami ini Bakari al tara campaign sa fo ko ale dula jamal lema possibly to many mulmi alon ne fanko wollem Talib la fasa lalte. They will tell you ko kap Talib uproot komi ka fo nyami is going to be a huge mountain to climb abe koleala Bakari na tara ko itebe Bakari le fasa kan Talib wala fanko Bakari le chances of winning KMC wala ko the seat of a mayor for KMC ala chances nyimbenyale. Do you believe Bakari can win this election?
Bro, I can tell you for free. Come 28th May by 6 o'clock when the results are announced, Bakari will emerge as victory. Talib cannot stand it. Talib is not going. Talib will be the first time in the history of this country a mayor that served one term. I can assure you that.
Yel argument based monekang natara ko Talib before
people just see me on social media. They think, you see, when I post, I'm done. I have been going under the ground talking to people every day. I on my car here, I go. In the streets, talk to people, because that's what I believe in. I talk to you and I leave you with your consent, but I give you facts. The people that I believe that they understand me and they understand. And I go with the campaign team. I see people.
Yes.
I see the welcoming. I see how people are so passionate about change. I listen to people. You know, most of the time when I go to meeting grounds, you know, even when I have to speak, when I speak, I'm behind these people to look at the people that are discussing behind. Sometimes I even take a walk. People that are standing in their compound gates, what is their words? Are they listening? What is their word? And I heard them very clearly. You know, they want change. They feel like the Taliban has not delivered. So absolutely come on the 28th of May, Bakar will be victory.
So more minka for you Talib ya katabake KMC wala moja man.
You know, it's people who, for me, like I told you, I respect people's opinion. I don't want to question them. But for me, as Kexx and other people that are supporting Bakar, I have not seen that. You know, for me, I have not seen any development that you can say that, okay, the revenue that is collected, and this is, you know, council is beyond, you know, all what they are doing, flowers, radio stations, you know, renovation of markets, you know, it's beyond that. You know, so people cannot take that as a yardstick to measure the development or the achievement of a council. Boy, we have, you know, the flood in this country. How many people will lose millions of their belongings? You look at the roads. The feeder roads are the responsibilities of the councils. Tell me how many feeder roads have you built? You come to Latrikunda here during the race, you cannot access the Irinjan road. What have you done there? You go to Talendim Farokono, you go to Latrikunda, you go to Olpa, Bundung Highway, everywhere. You have potholes everywhere. What is the council do? At least every month, at least 1 kilometer of road, every month, at least. But we have not seen all those things. Where is the council flats? Where is the council transport? Where is the social responsibility of the councils in terms of meeting the people, looking at the diabetes patients, what is their condition, advise them medical terms, what they should use, people that are maybe stroke hit them. You know, all these are responsibilities of the councils. People think that council, that's the only responsibility. Let them go and do the research. Council is directly connected to the people. The central government is there. They have the national budget that they share to ministers to run the affair. But council collect tax from you directly, and they have to deliver it directly to you. So council are more closer to the people. Do you know how many young people are seeking job in this country? You should have a record of all those things. How many workshops are there? How many people can I train today and give them the equipments? That's the role of the council. Create them workshops. So when councils, in terms of schools, when you are building schools, you will need tables and chairs. You contract those young people that you have empowered to make those chairs, those tables for the council. Then they have income. And council, the resources that they use to buy them the workshop and build them the workshop, they will be paying the council until they own the workshop. This is how you empower the young people. It's the council doing that. So the role of the council is beyond building flowers, it's beyond building, renovating markets, it's beyond building radio stations, it's beyond that. But, you know, because of people fail to understand the responsibilities of the council, that's why when they see flowers, they see renovation of Bakau market, hey, you have built, and people are showing me that. You have to create job for the young people. You go to the Serakunda market, you find women selling on the ground, on the floor. There are certain people that are selling less than 100, that's 200, that should not come to the market. It is the responsibility of the council. Immediately they reach at the market, you buy everything from them. Then you have your refrigerators. You have what we call your retailers or your retailers. You create them a canteen. So when these women come from their gardens with their vegetables, you just buy it from them. Then the council will have a staff that they are retailers. They will give it to them to sell it. So these women will go, so now they will just know that there's already an established market for me. So when I go to the market, the council will just buy it for me. So council will have a storage, because these people, they don't have a storage facility. So they will just roast and just sell this so that they will put something on the table for their children on the platform. So they will just sometimes, even after 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, they'll say, Manko, one ter, because they need something on the table. Those people, those are the responsibility of the council. So you will have the refrigerator where you will store these things. And things that can be exported, you export them and have foreign exchange in this country. But you see people lying on the floors. It's the responsibility of the council to make sure that foods that we are consuming should not be put on the floor. Why the market is congested? You have to do a study, because some people are coming there, they should not come there. It's the council's responsibility to buy all those products from those people. So the moment you buy them from them, so those people will not come and queue in the market, put in their testing, and you'll see them chasing them, leave the street, because the market is congested. Because Serakunda is the main place. So you will have to have a strategy. So you cannot control a council unless you sit down and study and understand the challenges of the council. Then you can address the need and the aspiration of the council. But this is what has not been done for the centuries. People don't sit down and study. What are the challenges of the councils? So council is beyond what people are portraying as development.
Yes, ni ajibe because ite fana ini bakare coming off nyama albe altara campaign le na tara ko be ka mol la moy mol mi alon ne ko ka diamu campaign da wala ka platform woni nda pour kaje ka diamu mun ka di concerns of the people of KM pour kaje fonko ni bakare na ñul len ko te mi alon ka nyanda ka bamba wala pour kaje fonko ka woke mo
ko wala fete ko nganta dile bakare know that ko why people are voting against Talib because he failed to deliver. So I expect ko ni bakare fana nata na jang abalon ko Talib 5 years I would have malaki and he's removed. Then I have a heavy tax on me. And if you don't deliver the same thing we did to Talib, we will do the same thing to Bakare. For me, so he has to deliver.
Finally, akamunta ko wato mi alon ka bije amansia koten kensa fo ka bantale ferem natara ko ye advice rebe mendila to the people of KM mi alon ko wallem electorate milba carte file. What is going to be your advice generally?
Yeah, well, in the country, Gambian, we have to move away from this politics of crowd competition, this politics of okay, we are the majority. You know, political parties are just instruments of leadership. They are just a ladder for somebody to go and be a mayor or be a president or be a national assembly. It's just a ladder to take you to the position of a mayor or a thing. But the moment you become the mayor, you become the mayor of the entire municipality. You become the mayor of the entire country. So your political affiliation, you should put that cap or hat or anything or wrapper at the gate of the council. The moment you enter into the council or you enter into the National Assembly or you enter into the office of the president, know that you are elected by the vast majority of the Gambian people. And based on that, you should deliver to the expectation of the people of the state. So I'm telling the Gambian people that let us stop looking at political affiliation when it comes to the leadership of this country. Look at the best candidate that you think that this is the person who can deliver the service for, irrespective of whether the person is in your party or not. Choose the best, because that is what will save us. That is what will save our children and our children's children. And we owe it to our children that are yet to born that, because they will ask us, why do we fail them for them to inherit a Gambia that they can be proud of and beat their chest and say that I'm a Gambian, I'm proud of a Gambian. But after 57 to 58 years of independence, we cannot be proud of the country that we have. It's because of part of leadership. It's not because of we don't have the resource. We have abundant mineral resources in this country that can feed every entire citizen of this country. But because of the people that runs the affairs of the state, that control those mineral resources, are the ones that are not capable of running that office, and this is why we are in abject poverty after 54 years of independence, with a population of less than 2 million people, with abundant mineral resources, part of Kunkusanya and the mining that is taking place, the sea, and all these things. So unless we, the Gambian people, start to select people based on their competence, we will never have the Gambia that we want. And that's the challenge of the 21st century, for us to move away from this politics of crowd competition and put people into office who can run the affairs of this country. And if they fail to deliver, we should not hesitate to remove them from office, irrespective of whether they are in our political party or not. Unless that, we will not ever have a Gambia that all of us can be proud of. And that's the message to the Gambian people.
Abaraka bake, katen to bake dron ka jay wolem Kexx Sanneh jama baka wala fanko jama baka e dron Kexx Sanneh atelo moti mi alon ko komi moli alon nyamen dron PDOIS dingolem baraketa moti mi alon ne ko ala fasaro nin kano sainteng a sekala kadi bakare bajela mi alon ko telem National People's Party la candidate mi alon ko wala londi kanifim municipal council wala ko KM mi alum fonko abe place o nyine kamimbe dendi nyinang mayoral election la mi alum fonko atemela bakembe nyatiri na la Gambia banko kan oto kamala Kexx katen to bake ka jay ay wato minta kadi LSTV wana jibe lal mi alon ne fonko atol be bulaka noma ka fale ko don ala barka bake ale wato min beta pour ka je fonko ka bula programme o nyin noma programme o nyin min ka dalikanati wato bela wolem albadi mati aldima alteru kanunte parliament fati ka fale don ala barka bake be continue la pour ka je ko kam mo jamal nati jam pour ka je fonko ni ka cha soto mi alon ko lebe dending mayoral carte fola nim fana mi alon fonko lebe dending chairman carte fola mi alon ka be kala Gambia banko kan sibitina la ro kamala don banko di mo be dawda banko kanya kata fu banko e bantal ngal tentu bake ngal jay ale wato min beta pour ka bulanyim programme o nyinnom oto kamala dron ba fala la dron ko be programme o tandila le denne fo wati do dami alon ne fanan ko ninga mo ko tangol soto mi alon ko ni ba ka chan soto oto kamala ka fale ko don ala barka bake fo wati ko ten
baraka bake bari konton bo falen na la
bo falen
magala sana kundango no, thank you very much.
Yeah.